Hey, Herrst, Alter, was ist das?
Do you speak English?
What is this? What is all this for?
Oh, this is just for Schnitz and Giggles.
Schnitzel Giggles!
Welcome to Schnitz and Giggles, the podcast that stumbles upon the humor of cross-cultural confusion and life in Vienna, Austria, through the experiences of an Auslander and his Wiener.
Brought to you by the Edelweiss Crackers.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for the purpose of entertainment only and is not a replacement for therapy.
Well, hello, and welcome back to Schnitz and Giggles podcast. It's been a while. I don't know how to start this thing.
Yeah, we're a little rusty, aren't we?
We are a little rusty.
You didn't even say good night, or did you?
No. See, I'm telling you.
You are
super rusty.
Okay, we should do this again, but...
Okay, let's start over.
I mean,
Guten Hallo, and welcome back to the Schnitz and Giggles podcast. I am Michael.
I'm Lukas. Guten Hallo.
Guten Hallo. We're back.
We're back.
We're back just in time for our season finale.
Yay. Just made
You
it.
might have thought that our last episode was the season finale since we didn't put any more out.
Was the podcast finale, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you might have thought that as well. Yeah, it's been a while,
It's great to be back.
but here we are.
Yes.
Here we are enjoying the summer months.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the summer now.
We got some delightful fall weather for the last couple weeks.
True.
Cold, rainy.
Yeah, can't wait for winter.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Right around the corner. Yeah, come to Vienna. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, they actually predicted this is going to be one of the hottest summers ever.
Yeah, it was for about a week.
Yeah. And now we're still waiting.
I'm sure we'll get it. Right as you all go back to school and get back in the classroom,
Yeah, it's going to be sunny,
it'll be sunny, beautiful,
pool weather.
pool weather, and the pools will be
Empty because
Empty.
everyone's at school.
perfect time. Can't wait. So how you been?
I've been very, very good, very well.
Why haven't we gotten together to talk?
Life has become so busy and there's been so many things, and now there's summer break, vacation time, and that's kind of how we roll here, and that's why we don't produce anything else.
Yeah, summertime becomes a very weird time to schedule anything with anybody because everybody has so much vacation time in this country. Kind of blows my mind as an American. You know, growing up and in my first few jobs, you know, before I was a teacher, you know, you have to earn your vacation time, got to accrue the hours.
What?
Yeah, you only get a certain so like a lot of hourly jobs specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like for every certain amount of hours that you work, then you get an hour of vacation time attached. So
I see.
usually it takes you about a year before you even get
One day?
a week.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe the math doesn't add up with, I can't remember what the formula was. But I know that whenever I get my pay stubs, like looking at my vacation time accrual was actually more exciting than what I actually got paid. Because I knew that I could take a day and not have to work.
Well, yeah, that's a bit different here in
And if we were lucky, we'd get 2 weeks if you waited long enough. And then you'd hope that they would let you take it.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and then you come
Yeah.
here and you got like 2 months worth of vacation. Everybody's on a teacher's schedule, it seems.
It seems like, yeah. Yeah, that might be a warning for anyone coming to Austria in July and August. It's not like everything's closed, but you will see lots of stores, especially like those smaller ones, like family businesses. They say, hey, we'll be back in 3 weeks from now because we're out just like on vacation.
Yeah, that was an interesting learning point when we first moved here, was that during the summertime, you might just show up at your favorite restaurant and it's just closed. And they have a sign that says, we're on vacation. See you later. So it's kind of a disappointment, I guess, if you really wanted that food. But
On the other hand, I had like another experience that is kind of emphasizing the opposite. I was going to one of my favorite kebab places and just getting some food there. And while I was waiting for my kebab, I was looking around and saw a sign that says, we'll be on vacation starting tomorrow, like the next day. So, and they're gonna be closed for 2 weeks.
wow.
And so that kebab tasted extra good because I feel like, I know I can't have this now for the next 2 weeks. So
I have to
I
enjoy
really
it.
appreciate it. I was just lucky enough to go, because I didn't know there are times when they're going to be out on vacation.
Did you buy an extra kebab to take home?
Yeah, I put it in the freezer.
Just put it in the freezer so you could defrost it for later.
Yeah, I should have done that. However, I've had many occasions where it was the opposite, where I wanted to go there and there's no, we're closed. Come back in August, 1st of July.
Yeah, it's just a wild kind of rhythm of life over here is that you are going to encounter that. And the holiday or the summer season is just kind of people endlessly going on their, not endlessly, I guess, but there's offices slow down, it seems, and everybody's work kind of slows down because they're, not scheduling as many things, and everybody's off in some other part of Europe. And
true,
it's
great.
great.
As soon as kids are out of school, basically the parents try to spend as much time as they can with the children, a lot of them at least, and try to have vacation. And those summer months might empty the offices, empty the stores, because all the personnel and staff, they're out somewhere and traveling the world.
It seems like the work-life balance here in Europe is a little bit more healthy than what I might be used to in the States, what my family and friends might be dealing with at the moment, where there is really no emphasis on any sort of work-life balance. It's just work.
True. I mean, that makes you the greatest nation in the world, though.
Yeah, I guess, no days off.
It has some perks. Yeah.
No days off. Yeah. You got to keep the hustle.
If you're on top of the world, you got to keep going.
Keep going, keep working, keep doing whatever it is we're doing.
And in Austria, we're just like, we used to be top of the world anyway, 500 years ago. So
turns out going to Croatia is nice too.
Yeah.
I will say that trying to, being involved in baseball over here, I think that's one of those things that became very apparent that it was different in Europe than in America, is that we never took vacation during baseball season. Like family vacations, everything else was very carefully planned around the beginning and the end of our season. Mm-hmm. Like there was no way that you were missing games, especially as, we grew older, that type of thing. And get over here and I don't know if we've yet to have our full roster play, because it seems like inevitably somebody's on vacation. In between school breaks and all that stuff, guys are just gone.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out Yak. He's off in India for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Have a good time, Yak. Meanwhile, the team he's kind of responsible for helping coach is playing a ton of games. So, but that's fine. That's fine. Everybody just kind of makes up the gap and pulls their weight, but guys are just gone for 3 or 4 weeks at a time.
Yakety yak.
Hopefully come back.
The cook's back.
But it just takes a little bit of a change kind of in perspective on people do need time to kind of get away and relax. But how the heck do people take so many vacations?
Sometimes I also wonder with some people, I have friends who feel like they're always planning their next vacation. Whenever I tell them, hey, let's meet again. See, well, no, I'll be in Bali in November. I already know, and then I'm going to be in Spain next February. And they're like, oh.
That is a good point. Austrians, it seems, love their vacations. And some people are just going out to the countryside. Maybe they're going to go visit family in another one of the states, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you got people going to Bali and Indonesia and to the Maldives. I mean, they're just all over the world. They'll go to America for 3 weeks and travel the states or whatever. I mean, it's great that people are putting a priority on.
Yeah, I mean, for some Austrians,
I don't understand how people do it.
For some Austrians, this is really their priority. They save up their money, and if they make any extra money or overtime hours, whatever, they can get even extra days off.
Well, the 13 and 14 month paycheck is part of it too, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the purpose, right?
They cancel Christmas and just go on vacation instead, so no Christmas gifts to be bought. Seems like it sometimes. And there are some experts in finding the cheapest flights available and just going there on a low budget. And so they can have 3, 4, 5 vacations throughout the year and go to exotic places even.
I think that's the thing that's kind of lost on Americans specifically. We don't fully, because America as a country, covers so much ground. The idea of being able to get to a seaside resort within a couple hours, is not the case for most Americans. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're
Yeah, let's
you know,
live
living in the Southwest somewhere, and you can get to the coast easy or near Florida or whatever. But here, most places in Europe, you're a 2-hour flight away from Croatia, Italy, Greece.
Yeah.
You know, places that people might count as bucket list type vacation spots, but there's just so many options. There's so many hotels, so many resorts. So I guess it makes it easier for people. It's the economy around tourism that grows up.
Yeah, lots of places are just based on, like, the economy is based on tourism.
Yeah.
Or that big part of it, including Austria. They also need a lot of tourism.
Yeah, the amount of like family focused resorts as well that like have kids clubs at them, have pools set aside for the kids, they have video game rooms, things like that are set up for families to go on vacation. I feel like it's a lot more prevalent over here because there's so many people taking vacations.
Yeah. If everyone had to work, you couldn't even have the infrastructure to have that many. You just need one hotel instead of 5 hotels. Some places. Speaking of vacation, I have a vacation story that's related to our podcast indirectly.
Oh,
so I don't know if
do tell.
It's just a little story.
Were you recognized on the streets?
Yeah.
Hey,
my voice is recognized.
You're from Schnitzel.
Yeah.
I recognize that voice anywhere.
No, that was not the case. Sorry.
Too bad.
One day, yeah, it was going to happen. But our family, we spent a vacation in Greece just a couple of weeks ago. And speaking of cheap flights and everything, I tried to find the best package for us, like just get us there on a certain budget. And as those short trip flights, often you don't have any extra luggage. You only get to have hand carry.
Right.
And then as I was looking through the fine print after I booked the flights, I found out it was like really the smaller hand carry stuff only. Like you only get to have one bag.
Not even a full backpack.
Not even a full backpack,
yeah.
So, and I was really concerned, so we went there for like a couple of days. Okay, yeah, we have to pack enough stuff, to get you through those days, but you can't pack too much at the same time. So I was really thinking about, okay, what should I pack? Which backpack should I take? And then I saw the backpack I usually have for where I store like the equipment you use for our podcasting. So I emptied it out and said, okay, this is the perfect bag now to take with me. And I put like all my clothes inside and everything, and from toothbrush to everything. And I really, really double checked. Do I really need this? Okay. How many socks do I need? Like how many? Yeah, like really going through it again, and say, it doesn't fit. Like I have to take it out again. And so like one t-shirt had to be left behind or something, And then we make it to Greece, and then we're in the hotel, and I unpack my tightly packed backpack. That's a lot of packing in one sentence. And as I unpack it, suddenly I pull out a microphone.
You were ready to record.
I was ready.
You should have given me a call.
It was the only thing. I didn't take any other equipment with me, but somehow it was deep buried in the bottom of the backpack. And when I emptied it at home,
so you could have taken that extra shirt.
So I could have taken that extra shirt instead of a microphone. I mean, I was fine either way. It was all going well because on the day of check-in, suddenly it popped up like on the boarding ticket. Something popped out like, I don't know if we got an upgrade or something, but like suddenly we were able to take 2 pieces of luggage instead of 1.
Whoa!
I double checked and it's like it really, like in the first booking it said only 1, and the second now on the boarding pass it said 2. So we took an extra bag with us with all the stuff we probably could have left behind. So happy ending. And so one of our, I don't know which of the microphones it is, but one of our mics we're talking to, does it smell like grease?
My microphone like was smelling a little greasy. I wasn't sure what that was about from my Carré Semo.
We should have said Grease God instead of Leonardo today. Hey-o. So what are we talking about today?
Vacation, obviously.
It's a season finale.
Yeah, we're going out with a bang.
Yeah.
Big season finale.
So, as we have recorded so many episodes in the past, I was kind of thinking today this episode might be a good opportunity for us, and perhaps you more than me, to reflect on our time here in Vienna as an expat, or just those experiences ever since we started the podcast, or ever since you moved here to Vienna for the first time. Did you experience any changes? Has your view on things changed in any ways? And can you give us any examples?
Oh, it's a very emotionally loaded question.
Yeah.
I was realizing that probably the day will come and go before this podcast is released, but it will mark the anniversary, 15 years since we first set foot here in Austria. So it's been some time, I think, behind us to think about our experience. And I mean, I guess we could go a lot of different directions.
Yeah. Speaking the Deutsch, for example.
Well, man.
That is the...
Yeah, that's...
Such an
You'd think I'd be fully fluent by now, but I have a couple of my teammates that, like, at the beginning of every practice will just be going. They are just absolutely committed to getting me to only speak in German to them.
Nice.
And so they'll be asking me questions and all these, kind of basic stuff.
So your mind's fried before you even start to practice.
Yeah, I know. I for some reason with them, I'm never fully sure where they're going to go with the whole experience, whether they're just going to use it as a opportunity to just laugh at me.
Sure.
And so I respond to all their questions and comments in English, and they're like, "No, you have to speak in German."
So it's not working for
I said, "No, I'm good. Like we're starting practice. Like I'm focused on what the schedule is going to be for practice." And they just shake their heads, and I mean, I'm understanding everything that they're saying to me, but I don't know. I've fully embraced that ugly American. It's like
it's not a
you
safe zone for you to practice your.
It's not a safe zone. These guys make it. I feel so scared.
Yeah,
I need to just not be a wuss and
you need
to practice more.
A shelter, like a shed, something where you can practice it.
I guess, yeah, a nice safe place with padded walls.
Yeah, guarded by a German Shepherd.
Yeah, I guess the life of being an expat, kind of living in a place that is as familiar as it becomes to, because I do truly feel that that this is home. We feel comfortable here, and we can get around, and we don't have too many frustrations regarding life here. But I guess there's still that element that we feel like we're not from around here. I have noticed though that my wife is truly becoming Austrian on public transportation, because if there is ever any like noise, anybody talking a little bit loud, somebody who has their a video goes off, they're scrolling through Instagram, they forget to turn their sound off, like the glare that she gives them rivals any Austrian glare.
Good.
It's very proud of her. She's becoming Austrian in that way. She just does not have any patience for any sort of extra noise on public transportation.
Well, as soon as she starts like shutting windows when there's a draft in the train, then she's really
settle down. I don't think it's ever going to get there. Like,
or rip open the window, and it's usually one or the other. Like those two types you find in the U-Bahn.
Yeah, she's
one guy
still probably more in the opening the window stage.
It's too hot.
Yeah, she will not close a window.
Yeah.
No, that's
there's a draft. Close it. No, open up.
She's usually trying to get me to go over and open the window over some old person. I refuse to do it.
Put on your friendly face.
I'm not ready to get yelled at today. So I guess that's one way. I guess we could reflect on our time here. I don't know. There's so many of those stories over the years of where that you're not in a place that you're that you understand why people are behaving the way they behave, or even why I'm responding the way I respond. Like those things. Just there's so many of those. I mean, it's why our podcast exists. Probably is because we needed a forum to share those things.
I mean, there's a big secret I can let you in on. Ooh. And this might be a reason for our listeners to stop listening to a podcast or continuing until the very end.
Please don't stop listening.
Yeah, like we rather prefer the second option, because even me as a Viennese talking here, I think you never get to a point where you feel fully accepted in Vienna.
Even as a Wiener,
even as the biggest Wiener there is. But yeah, really speaking as a local, you might feel left out, even if you've been born and raised here, if your family has been here for generations. I think this is just part of just a cultural, I don't know how to put it in words, part of the culture.
Yeah. Do tell.
Good. Yeah.
Good.
The cultural culture tells us that it's just part of the thing you have to do to exclude others. That's just how we roll. And so many other cultures are the opposites. They're like very welcoming.
Yeah. Yeah. So many of our stories that we've shared over the couple seasons here are always kind of rooted in somebody identifying how you're not doing the right thing. Right. You're getting yelled at or stared at or whatever. And it's ironic because it's actually like almost that happens because the person who is at the judging side of it is trying to get you to belong.
Yeah.
Trying to like get you to fall into place and do things the right way.
If you don't do that right, you're never going to belong. So better act the right way. So we'll take you in. That's kind of the Austrian friendliness behind it.
I wonder if one of the ways we'll really feel we belong is if we're standing at our window just yelling at people to pick up their dog poop or something.
Then you really have arrived and settled in Vienna.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm trying to communicate here. And I hope listeners are still going to keep listening to this because in the end, everyone will feel excluded in Vienna, even the locals. And you have to really earn your way into some groups, into some places.
So all this time I've been, maybe feeling like I didn't belong. I've actually belonged more than ever.
Yeah, because that's what everyone feels.
That's the local experience.
So that's the whole irony of the situation. See?
Stop trying so hard to fit in.
Yeah.
But try harder to fit in.
Try harder to fit in.
So you can.
Because, don't try to fit in, but don't make any mistakes either.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting question to ask other locals, people who are other Wieners, if they have ever felt that kind of level of belonging where they're, while home is home, obviously, but have there been times when they're going through life where they actually feel excluded from being part of life in Vienna?
Yeah, sure. That would be an interesting take.
Well, listeners, if you're a local Wiener,
tell us if you belong.
Yeah. Throw down a comment.
Or maybe they feel they don't belong, so they won't tell us.
You belong. We see you. We acknowledge you. You are part of the Schnitzel Giggles community.
We can't make it that easy. It's like they're not going to trust you if you make it that easy.
Like, what are you really getting at?
Suspicious.
What are you trying to do? I feel like we can't end this on such a hopeless note of like, hey, no matter how hard you try, foreigner, you're never going to fully feel like you belong because even the locals don't feel like that. There's got to be, what are some tips that we can give people that maybe it's something that they could do that could quickly allow them to feel more welcomed by Viennese culture? There's got to be something.
Yeah, there's one tip I can give you.
Okay.
Just get a dog.
Just get a dog.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Not a hot dog, but like a real dog.
Oh, yeah. I thought we had already done our
we had talked about kebab.
Our versatile stand
Schnitzel
episode. Get a dog.
Yes.
Oh, what good would that do? Because earlier I referenced the old ladies, staring out their window and yelling at people who are walking their dogs to pick up the droppings.
Sure. You got to do that.
Well, why would getting a dog help?
People in Vienna, they love dogs. They love cats too, but you don't only see the dogs, out on the street, out in public, and you see lots of people walking the dogs.
It's true.
If you have a dog, people think you might just be nice, and they might want to pet the dog, and they want to maybe even start a conversation with you. Then
I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah,
I observe that.
It's a great conversation starter, and often, since so many people do, you might meet another person with a dog walking just your way, coming across from the street or something. You might have a little chat about the dogs, and the dogs, they start sniffing each other as they do, and make friends. And
well, there are a lot of rules around dogs, as you would expect in Austria. A lot of rules.
Yeah.
It's not just easy. It's not as simple as just going out and getting a dog.
You can even get Hundeführerschein.
Yeah.
Which is like a driver's license just for dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing the dogs driving around has been pretty incredible.
Yeah. Hey, you're going to pick me up from work. Woof, woof.
Yeah. That reminds me, actually, kind of forgotten about it, but we dog sat early on in our time in Vienna. We had some friends who were going back to the States, and they asked us to watch their dog. Shout out Stockets. And the funny thing, this was shortly after Kaylin was born. So we had this experience of having a newborn baby. in the stroller, going on public transportation. And usually any interaction from somebody else was to tell us to like zip up her sleeping sack thing or like put a sock on her foot or whatever and kind of like tell us how we were parenting incorrectly. But then we had this week and a half or 2 weeks where we had a dog that we're, taking on public and walking around, and you would have thought we were everybody's best friends. Like the amount of people that like wanted like ask us about the dog and have a conversation. So I could see like if you're going to compare these two things, I mean, I know it's been said that Viennese like their dogs better than they like children, which I guess we could talk about as well, because might be some truth to it.
There might be some truth to that, yes.
But anecdotally, at least, I've seen that to be true. The dog, having that dog a lot, like Rebecca was talking about, how many like conversations with people on the. She had more conversations with strangers
when she was
on the bus with the dog.
With the dog,
she's had the entire other years of being over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess is why we don't have a dog.
Don't talk to me.
One of the many reasons.
Yeah, if you don't want people to talk to you, don't get a dog.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what everyone experiences. And even people, you have big dogs. Some people are not afraid of it. It's like, hey, can I touch your Doberman? Yeah, but when you have a kid with you, a small child especially, and they're just not behaving in the proper way at the moment, you might get some weird looks at best, or some very, very good tips on how to raise a child from strangers, or to tell me, your kid is too cool, no, your kid is too hot, put the blanket on, take the blanket off, all kinds of things that you feel like people are annoyed just because of the presence of that child.
Yeah.
But if the dog is there, and if the dog is barking, they will say, well, yeah, it's the dog. Dog just got excited, or the dog's just afraid, and the dog's going to stop any moment. But if a kid starts crying, people don't they're like, why is the kid crying? Like, how come?
Yeah.
It
should be crying. Is true. The toleration level for the tolerance level for a barking dog is much higher than a crying baby. Although you don't hear dogs barking quite as much because they're supposed to be so well trained. But even when they do bark, nobody's going to stand up and go, yell at the dog owner because their dog is barking.
Yeah, that would be very rare. I think it happens 1 in 100 times. And with the children, the rate is much higher, that people might complain. Or just, sometimes you often see like young mothers on the bus, on the train. They have the stroller, they have the baby, maybe they have 2 kids even, and they're trying to just get in, get out of the bus. And, it's hard for them. They're struggling, and they have you need to have all the supplies with you as well. You have a baby and, the bottle and the snacks. And then people just... Actually, there's 2 sides to that, because I can't say it's always one or the other, because sometimes you feel, okay, some people are like happy that this mother has left the bus and no one's helping her. They're like, just finally that noise is gone and everyone's at peace again. But very often you will also find people say, can I help you? Can I just take the stroller for you? Like, can I just help you get it out of the bus or get it into
we don't want to scare away any young families from moving to Vienna. There are very many helpful people for mothers and young families.
And you might even have that experience. So hopefully this is really an encouragement for everyone moving here. I've heard stories of people, they say there was this really grumpy man or a lady. They looked at them and they have the baby and the stroller, and they're waiting to get on the bus. And this grumpy man comes up to her and suddenly the man says, can I help you put the stroller into the bus? Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving. They look all like mean and annoyed because of your presence. And suddenly they become your best helper and the best friend for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's those elements of like knowing that when you go to a restaurant that like most restaurants would welcome a dog, but maybe be more annoyed by, they're going to have a bowl of water for the dog, but they might not have like a booster chair for the kids. Like they're more well equipped to welcome a dog into your restaurant than you are a small child.
That's true. Yeah.
There's no kids menu, but they have an option, a snack for a dog or something, right? They bring them out dog treats or something.
I mean, how does that compare to California or other places you lived in?
You very rarely see places where dogs are welcome. Like you wouldn't just be, it's not like, I think just the rhythm of life of like, if you're going out to a restaurant, you're not walking through your neighborhood to get to a restaurant. You have to get in the car and drive. You're not usually throwing your dog into the car to go to a restaurant. And there's probably there's probably rules against it or laws about having a dog in a eating establishment because of, assumption of dirtiness or whatever. You might find, some coffee shops or something that might have a bowl of water for dogs, but that's usually in a community where there's more people walking, and so they're just stopping in for a coffee. Yeah. But certainly you don't notice it. I mean, that was something that was kind of a fun little game for Justin when we first moved over here was, as we were going around all these different stores, shopping for stuff for our apartment and getting used to life, as he was counting every dog that he saw in public.
That's good.
And like after a week, the number was getting too high because it was just such a...
I can't count that far.
But that was for him and for us was such a noticeable difference. Moving over, that we just saw so many more dogs in places where we weren't. I think just in IKEA alone, when we were shopping for stuff, I think he had counted a dozen dogs just walking through the furniture store. So that was something that was obviously at the time different, because there was just, I think the way dogs are incorporated into somebody's life is a lot different. I think in the States, our dog is at home and it's a little friend that we come back to and guards our house or whatever. But here, dogs will go along on everything. Like it's a member of the family.
Right.
And I know Americans will say, yes, this dog is a member of our family, but we have dogs who are our biggest fans of the Metro Stars because they're at every game. Like we have some dogs that are at more games than some humans because
they go without their owners.
Along. Yeah, they just show up at practices. Asking for autographs and everything. Yeah, so that's certainly, and while that will happen in California where people take their dogs everywhere, it's far more common here, and just a interesting cultural dynamic that people feel like less of a burden taking their dog someplace. I mean, like we've even had friends just bring their dog over when they're having dinner with us at our house. Yeah. Because they're going to be out of their house so long. They're like, oh, can we bring our dog? And of course we're always
unannounced or
always
at least
talked about beforehand.
Okay,
I think people don't just show up with their dog.
Usually,
we'd be happy with that. We're a dog loving family. We're always excited to have a new dog running around our apartment. But very rarely did somebody do that in the States, where they were coming over like, hey, we're going to be over at your house for a long time. Can we just bring our dogs? Like that would never happen.
Right. I think the main part is the infrastructure of where we're living, because what we're talking about here concerning Vienna will probably apply to many cities in Europe in general, and maybe other places in the world as well, where you walk a lot and you just take public transportation instead of driving with a car most of the time. So we talk about the metropolitan areas. And I don't own a dog. I like dogs, but I don't have a dog. So I know there are some places where it says, like some stores, shops, or restaurants, supermarkets, whatever, that says like no dogs allowed in here. Yeah. But I also have seen that some people just ignore that.
Yeah, it's never enforced, really.
Yeah, and since you mentioned IKEA, I just remember one moment that I had. So I was in IKEA, and I wasn't sure. Like, if you don't own a dog, you don't think about these things. Are dogs permitted at IKEA or not? I have no idea. Yeah. So I was there, and there was a guy with a dog there, and suddenly one of the employees comes up to this guy and says, "Sir, your dog, sir." And I said, "Okay, well, maybe they're gonna kick him out and say like, can't have the dog." And the employee said, "Sir, your dog has to be on a leash when you're in IKEA." So that was the only problem.
It seems reasonable.
He had the dog.
Also wild that he had the dog off the leash in IKEA.
Yeah, like get the dog off the leash, just running around, like sniffing.
It's such a maze. Yeah, I have a hard enough time keeping track of my family when I go there. Let alone.
Well, the dogs are faithful creatures.
Yeah,
they always stick with. They stick with you rather than more than the children. You're like,
the dogs are much better trained than any of my kids.
They would not get lost in IKEA because they would pick up your trail and just follow you.
A lot easier for them.
But then, of course, having the idea of the dogs just laying down on the carpets that IKEA is just trying to sell there, and so, and I don't know if that is a problem for stores selling furniture and all kinds of fabrics or not. It doesn't seem to be a problem, and personally, I don't really mind. But there are, like which you just said earlier, there are a lot of safety rules and things to consider. So if you have a dog in Vienna, you should double check that you're following protocols, since there are fines for for all kinds of violations concerning having a dog.
Yeah, because the expectations there of I mean, obviously at the service level, just having your dog registered and that they know that your dog has all those shots and everything, but also the expectation of training and even that for some breeds of dogs that require the owners, you have to have a special training and license before you can even own a certain type of dog.
Yeah.
And so I guess that probably helps the social expectation that a dog is going to behave itself in a public setting, because if their owners have followed all the rules, then that dog is going to also comply with expectations. Like, it's not going to bark. It's, it is going to be, attentive to its owner only and not, trying to sniff up on other people. So I guess that does help.
It does.
More rules, more bureaucracy. It does help some things.
Sometimes, yeah. It's incredible that the state, as a matter of fact, has rules for everything, of course, for dogs, and also concerning the safety of children. There are a lot of rules. And there's even lots of financial support for children, for families in Austria. The ironic thing is that it seems though like the state really prioritizes children over dogs. But
the state does.
The state does. But society...
Because dogs don't have jobs and pay taxes.
You're right.
When they grow up.
They're still animals, and in the end, like legally speaking, animals are the same as objects. Yeah. They're not a person. Okay, like, so that's
a bold statement, Lucas.
Well, according to the law.
Yeah.
And there've even been like a movement to try to change that status. So actually, like a dog can have like a status like a human being. And even I think people have been trying to write the dogs into their last will. Like I don't think that's really possible in Austria, as far as I know.
Yeah. Since
you can't transfer your inheritance to an object, only to people or organizations, but not cats, dogs. But I think there are other countries where actually a cat can inherit millions of dollars.
Stories.
I don't know if it's in the States. Is that's
probably
possible?
Is America? Yeah,
it's probably America.
Where the weird stuff
endless
happens.
Possibilities. Yeah,
yeah.
So
the freedom to give all your money to a dog that's going to be dead in a couple months.
Yep, that's reality. Good times.
All right. Well, I think we're getting pretty close here to the end of season 2.
Yes.
I know.
Enough of
we
the
finished
dog.
off season 1 with Mr. Algebro joined us. That was fun. It was kind of a big retrospective type of episode, but we, being in the middle of vacation, we weren't quite able to get to that this time.
It was just a nice chat.
Just a nice little chat.
Catching up on things.
Just finishing up the... Speaking... Oh my gosh! Holy cow! No way!
Mr. Algebro.
Mr. Algebro!
Hello. What can I do for you?
Hey, everybody, this is not scripted. Mr. Algebro, we're just talking about how last season's finale included you, and here we are recording our season finale.
And how is this possible?
Wow.
Guten Tag, guten Hallo.
We didn't even reach out to you. This could be kind of awkward, like that we're recording this without you. And here you showed up. We're like, man.
Oops, he caught us in the act. We're recording a finale without me?
Wow.
No.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm glad I got to stop by.
Well, good. So I guess forget what I just said. Our season 2 finale also includes Mr. Algebro.
All right, scratch that. Yeah. Here he is.
So we're following a theme from year to year.
In the middle of the summer.
Yeah, just as he's on vacation.
He just shows up.
Just shows up to do a little bit of work at school.
What are the chances?
I mean, 100%.
It happened. I almost wore my red shorts today. Would have matched your top.
Well, yeah. Glad people can't see that.
Well, my gray shorts matched your top.
Well, I'll let you guys get back to it.
Yeah, let's talk about our outfits later on.
This is
off camera.
We'll do our fashion podcast later. Yeah, so as we finish off the season, now that we've had our necessary Mr. Algebro visit, we are coming back for season 3, everybody. That's
we are.
Yes. All of you listening and subscribing, I think expect more quality content out of us.
They expect more Schnitzel and more Giggles.
Or expect some quality content out of us at some point. Might as well try another season, see if we can make it happen.
Or try another podcast or for more quality content.
We'll see. We'll see. But we're we've been talking a little bit about ideas and maybe more guests next year, maybe less guests. Who knows? We could go we could do whatever we want. It's our podcast.
It's our podcast, yes.
But maybe some on location stuff. I don't know. But Luke, have you thought up any like specific ideas?
I mean, we have big dreams. We have a lot of ideas, and the implementation of the ideas is always the question. Talking about the work-life balance, everything on the side. But we love every moment, and we do have a list of topics. It's like a very long list that we still haven't covered yet, and so many things more to cover about living in Vienna, living in Austria. And these days, you often would even include assistance from artificial intelligence.
That's true. Well, AI help for getting some ideas. Have you been delving into that world?
Actually, I'm not going to name which machine I use, but I've been using some AI just to find out what does the artificial intelligence know about us.
Okay.
So I asked it about Schnitzel and Giggles podcast. Typed it in.
So what are our computer overlords saying about us?
And so it said, Schnitzel and Giggles it says it's a bilingual podcast about living in Vienna and Austria. And I was like, hold on, bilingual Austria?
Wow.
Hold on. Bilingual.
We can barely speak English.
Bilingual podcast. How? Because as far as I know, we've never had any German except for
German lessons,
German words by me, but it's not a bilingual podcast.
We say Guten every episode.
That's true. Yeah, beginning and the end. Yes. Guten Luck. But then I asked it to specify what kind of languages are being spoken, and it said the two languages spoken on the Schnitzel and Giggle podcast is A, English, and B, English with an Austrian twist.
Wow, so we've invented a new language entirely.
So apparently, according to AI, the English I'm speaking is not English. It's not English enough. It's actually English with an Austrian twist. But apparently, we have our own language now. It's a bilingual podcast officially.
Yeah, good for us. Yeah, look at. I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, you can say your English is with an Austrian twist.
Thank you. I mean, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah. I mean, would expect nothing less.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know it would qualify as its own language. So, adding to the 7,000 languages spoken on the planet.
Yeah. Hey, if it helps people, I mean, maybe that's an entry point for listeners of our podcast to get a visa over here.
True. Say what languages do you speak?
Get your A1 in English with an Austrian twist.
Yeah.
You might be able to do it.
Yeah.
You can live in Schnitzel and Giggles land.
Schnitzel and Giggles land. Come to Austria.
Yeah, good.
Be very happy here.
That was more than a twist.
It was a twist.
A full rotation.
It was almost like Slovakian accent, almost.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I think the summer's getting to me.
Yeah, I think we're coming to a close. Season 2. Thanks for all of you who have committed to listen to our nonsense
and schnitzeling and giggling with us.
Thanks for schnitzeling and giggling with us, and we'll see you in who knows when with the start of season 3. I'm sure we'll announce it at some point.
Can't wait for it.
All right. Well, guten bye-bye.
Guten bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this Schnitzel and Giggles episode.
Remember to follow and subscribe if you want more content like this from the Edelweisscrackers.
Don't be shy about commenting or leaving feedback. Until next time.
So long.
Farewell.
Good Wiedersehen.
Bye-bye.